George Colby is the founder of our community and actually deeded the first land to Cassadaga. He was a trance medium from New York State who was told by one of his spirit guides, a Native American called Seneca, that he would found a community of spiritualists in Florida. And when he came, he landed in Orange City, what was then called Blue Springs Landing, and kind of hacked his way through the jungle as there were no roads here at the time, and came to this community and knew that this was what was described to him by Seneca. It's a beautiful sacred property containing a spring that George Colby drank from. When he came here with the consumption, you know, at 27, this is back at 1874, it wasn't expected that he'd live to be an elderly man. George drank water from a spring on this property and breathed in pine smoke, we call it smudge, and claimed that that was the reason that his consumption was cured.
What I love about living in Cassadaga is the history, the pioneers, the sense that they're still with us, that they want us to know, that they walk among us, they guide us. When I research history, I feel incredibly guided. I feel that they want us to know something. And generally, if I have a tough question, the path's cleared and I find the answer.
I think spiritualism came about. It's been around since time began. There's always been a need for mankind to understand spirituality as much as spiritualism. But I think spiritualism came about because there was a need at that time for people to know that the people that they loved and cared about, whom they thought had died and gone and were just never going to be around again, were still there, that they still cared and still had the ability to let people know.
A lot of people are aware of the phenomena, and I think that's probably what draws them to spiritualism to begin with. But that's just a very small part of it. It is a belief, it is how you feel about God. And most people think we're witches and warlocks. Well, we have absolutely nothing to do with Wicca. That is completely different. What spiritualism is all about is your own personal experience with God. We call God infinite intelligence. And the reason for that is we believe nobody, no human being with our minds has any concept of what God is. So your experience with God for every individual on the face of the earth is experiential, it's personal. When all of a sudden you feel you've been touched by God, you're spiritualist.
I think some of the aspects of spiritualism that have allowed it to last as long as it has is that there is a lot of truth in what we teach. The basic facet of our foundation is truth, that we look for an honesty and a way of life. Spiritualism is not just a religion, it is very much a way of life for people who live it. It affects how we are on a day-to-day basis. Spiritualism is not a Sunday religion. You know, it works every day wherever you are. It affects your attitude to other people. And I think once people come into an understanding of spirituality, it changes the way they do everything. Not in a fancy way, it's not, you know, hearts and flowers, but it makes you consider other people and it makes you think about what's really happening. And I think it's lasted so long because basically people want to do what is right. And they need to know that the people that they have loved and cared about so much are not just gone at the moment that they leave this world.
Hi, my name is Mary Ford. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm an executive assistant and I'm here in Cassadaga for my very first reading with Jean Sarant, who I've heard is like one of the best. I'm real excited for my very first time. Some of my expectations are maybe to hear something from my mother and father or something about the troubles my brother and his wife are going through, and we'll just kind of see where it goes from there.
infinite spirit, God, creator of all that is, as I come into this person's vibration, I ask to be used as an instrument to receive what this person needs to know, not necessarily just wants to hear. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. And by doing this, we eliminate any low vibration from coming through. And I felt that, I don't know if you know anything about this or not, but there will be a change. You will have an opportunity for a change about April or May and going into June. There is an opportunity for you to move in a little bit of a different direction, not only in your personal life, but in your workaday world. Do you know anything about a change that is coming up possibly?
Well, the company is probably going to be sold probably around April or May.
Okay.
Or merge.
Okay, this is what I was feeling, and this came in from a man in spirit that left his body rather quickly.
Hi, this is Mary Ford, and I've just finished my first reading here in Cassadaga. Everything was right on. Heard from my father, I think, which I made me feel really good that he apparently seems to come and go in my life just like I felt him do. Everything that she told me made me feel good about myself. Saw some things coming in my near future that in my work and my personal life that look really good, and I think that it's a wonderful experience, and I'll be back to do it again.
What occurs in spiritual healing between the spirit world, the medium and the patient is that the medium tunes in, attunes themselves to the spirit world, and they ask for the healing energy to be given to the person who is in need. It's very simple, it's very uncomplicated. A mother does it every time a child stumbles. She picks them up, she hugs them, she kisses them, she heals them. You watch a child who's fallen. They stop crying very quickly once mum comes on the scene, because there is that natural bond there. There is an intangible energy that passes between them that is healing. And when a healing medium is able to tune into the spirit world, they share that healing energy with their patient. It's absolutely simple. There's nothing complicated about it. You have to remember that the healing energy comes from spirit, through spirit, the medium, to spirit, the patient. And it creates a circuit, it creates a bond, and allows that healing vibration to flow.
Okay. Well, and all these faces of angels came through. And spirits, all these, they look like raindrops. All the little spirits came through, and all these beautiful faces, like cherubs. You ever see the pictures of the cherubs? And they just seemed to, they just kept swarming in. And I really wanted to break down at that time, but I couldn't because I was up around the top of your head. As soon as I did that, they all kept swarming in, swarming in. It's absolutely fabulous.
Have you ever had an experience like that before?
Well, similar, yes, but not as fast as what happened here today. But of course, there was a lot of healing going on. That was phenomenal. Whew. It was absolutely beautiful.
My day to Cassadaga has definitely changed my life. Definitely. Yeah, what I had come in for was I sort of feel like I've fallen off my spiritual path. Wasn't really sure which direction I was going, and I felt like I needed someone to help get me there. And what it feels like is she sent me someone. And when she leaned down, that's what she told me was, I sent you a guide to help you on your path. And I definitely feel that guide with me. And I know I'm on my way.
That people are afraid of truth. People are afraid of the unknown. And to them we are the unknown, because we're treading on ice, and we're treading on water which should not be happening. We are causing people to change their thought process, because everything is in the... See, that's a natural law. What is the one constant in the law of change? Change. Everything is in a state of flux. Everything is in a state of change. As soon as you make a new conclusion of a new thought, it changes to the new truth.
So there's lots to see here. There's lots to do, and sometimes the most important thing to do is simply sit and be still and come into that knowing of God and yourself. We invite all to our grounds. We keep them as a sanctuary, a nature sanctuary, and all are invited to come and find the peace and harmony that we believe is here.